everybody, welcome back. So this is my second time filming this video for you. I did it the first time and I wasn't entirely happy. I think the point of trying to teach you something is to try and teach you the easiest way so that you don't become overwhelmed. So when I first did it, I love the effect. I actually used Smart Sticker cardstock. So this time I'm actually going to be using vinyl. So you're going to see the difference. I've at least got some comparisons for you so I can show you the difference. You can then obviously decide what you want to do. So I've cut all my elements except for my EVA foam. So I bought the EVA foam from Craft Buddies and I found this the best thing to make the spacer rings with. So I found that 3 spacer rings is perfect for a shaker topper. I'm going to show you how to set it up. So 2 of the rings are going to have die cut and bond on one side of it, and 1 of the rings is going to have it on both sides. So you could use glue. I just find it very messy, and the thing with the shaker topper is you don't want the glue smushing out the sides. It makes it look untidy. I know you do get EVA foam that already has glue on the one side of it. What do they call it? Self-adhesive EVA. I'm not sure if it is good, and I don't want to buy a whole pack and find that it doesn't work out. I love my die cut and bond. I use it quite often. You've probably seen me talking about it quite often. So what it is basically is a very thin double-sided tape, but it is super strong. So you can use it to make Smart Sticker cardstock. You can use it for your cake toppers. You can use it pretty much for anything. So I've bought the A3 sheets. I found that I can do a lot more with them. My spacer rings are 14 centimeters. So what I've done is I've actually measured out 15 centimeters just to give it a little bit of space, and I'm then going to cut it down there. It's fine if it's not completely straight. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to put the die cut and bond on one side, and for this one I'm going to put it on both sides. I'm not going to cut this piece because what I can then do is use the bottom one if I need something bigger. So all we're going to do is take our die cut and bond and we're going to stick it on here. It's completely fine if there is some overhang. It's not going to make a difference. But you do want it to completely cover your EVA. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to slice it down the side. Oopsie. My brand new scissors. Oh gosh. And it's fine if there is some overhang. It doesn't make a difference. What it's going to do is it's actually going to help it stick to your mat. Okay, so that one's ready. And then we're going to do, this one is only for 1 ring. So for this I need 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters. So I mean, we can measure it down just so we know how far we're going. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to snip this. So that's my leftover piece. And I'm just going to lay it carefully over there. Okay, so we only want to go 15 centimeters or 14 centimeters down with this. Okay, And remember, this one's going to be double-sided. So I'm going to show you why we're doing one double-sided. Oopsie, we're stuck there. As you can see, it's super sticky, so try not to do that. And this piece we're actually going to cut in half now. So it's super sticky, a little bit difficult to work with if you're doing it like this, I guess. Ah! That. Then we're going to flip it over and we're going to do the same on this side. Okay, and then my leftover piece, I can just stick it right back on there and I can use it for something else later. Okay, so for this I'm going to use my strong grip mat and I'm going to be using my deep point blade. You can use your rotary blade. I just seem to be having a bit of a problem with mine. So on Design Space, I am selecting Flex Foam. No, sorry, I lied. I'm selecting EVA foam. So if you want to use your rotary blade, select Flex Foam. If you want to use your deep point blade, choose EVA foam. So EVA foam will automatically give you the option for your deep point blade, and if you use the Flex Foam, it will automatically give you the option for your deep point blade. So now we're going to first cut the one that is single-sided, and then we're going to cut the double-sided. So for the double-sided, you're probably going to have to cut it twice. Single-sided once should be sufficient. Let's just add extra pressure in case. So as mentioned, we're using our strong grip mats. We're going to stick that down nicely. And we're going to be using our deep point blade. So you will want to move your rollers to the side, the little white rollers on your machine. That's just so you don't dent your EVA. Again, it's not entirely necessary. Most of this is going to be hidden, so you'll be good there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and then we're going to have a look at it and put everything together. Okay, so we have cut our spacer rings. So I'm going to show you how to put these together. If you want to, if there's any little bits, you can just pull them off. So obviously you do want it to be as neat as possible. So the ones that you've only got one side on, one of them is going to be your middle ring. So all you do is pull this off. And you're going to line that up nicely. So I like to start on one side, make sure that it's lined. You don't want it hanging over anywhere, and then I just go around and make sure that it is lined up nicely. As you can see there, it's not, so I'll have to pull that apart, get it nicely lined up. So as you can see, I've kept these because I'm sure I can use them for something else. I don't like wastage of any kind. So for this one, it didn't cut through the back, but the front is definitely cut. So all I'm going to do is just peel it up, basically. So that is what we're doing. There we are. And I'm going to keep the top on, and you're gonna see why. Oopsie, there we are. So the reason you want it all the way around and you don't just want it to stick is because there's going to be glitter and stuff in here. You don't want it to leak out. So we're going to do the same process. Line it up nicely. So now I've got glue on the bottom and I've got glue on the top. So the bottom is actually going to go against our cardstock. So let's, and what you can do is take your tweezers and you'll see there's little bits of white and you can just pick them off, get rid of them and tidy that up a bit. Okay, now we can take this off. And this needs to be perfectly centered. And what you have now is a little vessel to put all of your shaker gooders into. So what's going to happen is that's going to go on top. And you can already see it's 3D. So let's do our elements before we get to this. So we've stuck everything, we're ready to fill that, and we shall do that in a minute. Sorry, my mat's quite dirty. Anyway, okay, so now we're going to start sticking all of our little elements down. Oopsie. So I'm going to be using some Tombow glue. And I'm going to use a paintbrush to apply that. So that is for our print and cut. So I printed this on some photo paper and I'm going to stick it onto my backing. And all that backing is doing is giving it some strength, basically. I actually used this for gold paint and I didn't wash it afterwards. If you were on my TikTok live, you would have seen me playing with the gold paint. So that's why it now looks dirty. It's not dirty, it's gold paint, I promise. So I think when I did the design in my last video, if you haven't seen that, obviously go and watch it. You'll be able to follow on with what we're doing a lot better. But I don't think I showed you the offset. So I've added an offset just to sort of help it out there. It makes it stand out a bit more with a white offset. So your acetate actually has two sides to it, two coverings on either side. So this is going to be stuck onto the acetate and we're then going to have our frame around it. This is going to go like that. So let's just see. There, like that. Okay, so let's stick our little man on. So what I've found is that the Tombow works beautifully when you're sticking cardstock to acetate, but when you're sticking EVA to acetate, it doesn't stick as well as I would like it to. So I have tested a couple different glues with the acetate. I've tried the glue gun, I've tried normal sort of Pritt glue, I've tried the Tombow glue. None of them give me the effect that I want. So obviously the last thing you want is for someone to be shaking the topper and the whole thing flies apart and comes out. That will not be ideal. So some advice is when you are designing anything, keep your design open on the screen. So when you're making something you've designed, keep your design open on the screen so that if you get stuck with anything, you can always just refer back to the image. There we are. Okay, and then we're going to do our ring. So this is just getting all of our elements ready for our cake topper so that we can stick it all together. This is so pretty. So this is going to go onto that. Look how 3D that is. That is awesome. Okay, so next we are going to do our elements. So remembering that I decided to use some vinyl instead of cardstock. So we're going to put, so for the big ones you can just use your fingers. We're going to put our numbers and letters onto our cardstock. And try to make sure that it is perfectly spaced before you stick it down. But that's pretty. Okay, so I think it'll be quite cute to reuse our flower, which was never the intention, but I think it'll be cute. Let's see. Oh, where can we put it? I don't know. No, I think it might ruin it. Okay, so now we get to do the scary part, which is the transfer tape on cardstock. Okay, so remember your shimmer vinyl needs strong grip, which makes it even scarier, but that's fine. So what I want to do is I actually want to line the paw prints up so that we know which way they go. Okay, let's start. Wish me luck. Let's do the big ones first. Okay, remember always turn it upside down and remove the backing from the vinyl, not the other way around. And when we put it onto our cardstock, we got to be very careful now. So we don't want the cardstock to get stuck to the transfer tape. So we're going to stick this down, and what we're going to do is we're only going to press down where the vinyl is. And we're then going to very carefully remove. There we are. So next we're going to put our little flowers on. And this might be a little bit trickier. There we are. And then I've done holographic for the next flower. Oh no, I cut this one way too deep. Okay. I managed to get it off. So this is now our big flower. And that's going to go there. Oh no, we did not burnish. We probably should have used normal standard grip tape for the holographic. So I think I'll do that with the next ones. Let's just get this one on. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, and then for the center of the flowers, I wasn't going to mess around with teeny tiny little dots. So what I want to do is I actually want to use, I got these pens from Craft Buddies, the metallic dual tip dot markers. Again, if you were on my live, you would have seen them. There's different colors, and we have a thick edge and we have a thin edge. So I'm thinking, you know what, I kind of like the purple and pink. So we're going to do a pink dot here. Oh, it's so pretty. And then we're going to do a purple dot here. Oopsie, thin side. Right, the next thing you're going to have to do for your paw prints is I found this really awesome pre-cut double-sided tape. I love it. It's amazing. Okay. So I'm going to cut these smaller. I actually have some somewhere. Using my craft knife, I'm going to cut these smaller. So if you don't have double-sided tape and you still want the 3D effect, you can actually use your EVA foam that already has stuff stuck to it. So there's an idea for you. I prefer the double-sided tape though. I find it easier to work with. Okay, I now have 8 dots instead of 2. So these are going to go onto here. Oh, it's so pretty. So for this one, I think I'm going to add 2 dots. Or 1 should be enough, I guess. Yeah, 1 will be fine. Oopsie, a little bit skew. Little bit skew. There we are. How cute is that? So I'll show you the ones I did previously. I don't know which one I like better, to be honest. So the previous one I did, it was a lot bigger, as you can see. No, I think I like our new ones more. They're just more wow. Yeah, I vote new ones. So I'm going to carry on making these. I'm going to finish off the paws and then we will move on to our next thing. But I'm not going to put you through the terror of sitting with me as I do each and every single paw. So I'll do those quickly and then we will jump back into it. Okay, so we finished with all of our paw prints. And I actually, on the one that I showed you, I made a small boo-boo. I actually put the small flower on the big one at the bottom. Now you can see it looks so much better. So cute. Okay, so now we're going to put our 3D on the name and on the age. So for the name, let's see, can we use a whole one? No, let's cut them in half. So that's one thing to remember when you are using double-sided tape. You don't want it sticking out of the sides and you don't want it to be immediately noticeable if you look at it from the side. So I think for the number, we could probably use a whole one. Yeah. So for the number, we're going to use a whole one in the center. Like so. And my spacing on my 1 is slightly off, which I know, and it is going to annoy me. I'll probably put this video off and redo it just now. But the great thing is that it's a bit of a, it's not a perfect font, if that makes sense. It's kind of all over the place. So that does make it a bit easier. So we'll put by the S, the A, and then one in the center. Oops. There we are. Now comes the fun part. We get to fill this baby up. So one thing I've learned with the shaker toppers is that too much glitter is a bad thing. I never thought those words would come out of my mouth. But when you do put too much glitter into it, I don't know, it just looks messy, if that makes sense. So let's get our stuff, fill it up. So I'm going to keep with the theme, and I'm going to put blue. Okay, so I'm going to keep with the theme of blue and white. I have my glitter. Let's move all of this across. Oh wait, let's put everything onto here first, so we can decide. No, we can do it afterwards. We can do it after. Okay, so we get our topper. And remember, you don't want to put too much glitter. Oopsie. You don't want to put too much glitter. I think I'm going to stick with white glitter for this one. Actually, I don't know. I don't know. Put a little bit of blue and see what happens. Oh, that's pretty. It's actually like a bluey green. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, and then I found these gorgeous styrofoam beads. And we're going to put those in. And these little guys are super, super staticky. So, just be careful. Oh. And then the last thing I want to put in is some stars. Oops. Are we gonna like ruin it now if we put the, you don't know. I don't know if we're gonna ruin it if we, let's just stick a couple. Oh no, that looks cool. There we are. Okay, we're done. That's all we're putting in there. Stop me. Okay, now we can close her up. I think there might be a bit too many beads. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so now we can take this off. Ugh. And remember to take your protective covering off of your acetate. There we are. Just sucks them up. There we are. That is so cool. Super staticky though. Okay, now we're going to add on our final elements. So now we get to decide, do we want this to be 3D some more, which I think we do, or do we want it to lay flat? Again, entirely up to you. I think I want them to be more 3D. Okay, so for the name and number, I definitely wanted more 3D. So we're going to take that and stick that there. Ah, it's so pretty. Let's do the paw prints 3D. There we are. Yay! That's so pretty. Look how pretty. Okay, my my excitement is getting the better of me. So the last thing we're going to do now is the stick. So usually what I would use is a clear acrylic stick. I don't have any, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to compromise. So I have a wooden stick and I'm going to put some ribbon on that. And I actually have some pretty blue ribbon that I just bought. Isn't the ribbon gonna get messed? Yes, it is. But so what? It doesn't make a difference. So I actually don't know if I should use blue or white. I'm thinking white. I think white's gonna look better. Okay, so now we're bringing our glue gun into the mix. And we're going to put some hot glue. Remember, it's hot, so be careful. And we're going to stick this at an angle like so. And then we're going to wrap it like so. And when we get to the bottom, we're going to wrap around and then we're going to start going up. Oopsie. I'm going to do it quite tight. Now we're going up. Okay, now we got to cut it. And we're going to put more hot glue. Oopsie. And now we get to hide this. So that is what this piece is for. That's going to hide the back of our stick. So we're going to turn this over. Oopsie, oopsie. So where do we want it? We want it there. That is so pretty. So we want it right in the middle of the 13. Oopsie, we need more hot glue. So we want it there. Let's turn it over and adjust. There we are. So ideally I would have liked to have used an acrylic stick, but I don't have one at the moment. I have actually ordered some. And this is just to reinforce it. You don't want it falling out. So what I usually do is I usually agitate it in there. I usually twist it actually there. And that kind of gets it stuck on nicely. And then this part goes on. Okay. Oopsie. That's not the correct way. That's the correct way. Line it up nicely. Oops. We can have a look at it from the front. You can see it's not entirely lined up, so we're going to line that up. Oops. There we are. And there we have our beautiful shaker topper. How pretty is that? Thank you so much for joining me. I really enjoyed making this with you, and I hope that it taught you something valuable.